$17,290,000,000 is the total household debt that Americans currently have. On average, Gen Z have $25,851 of debt, $115,784 for millennials, $154,668 for Gen X, $96,087 for baby boomers, and the silent generation have an average of $39,345 in debt. This shows a very interesting curve. When you are younger, you don't have much debt. As you get older, you begin accumulating more debt. On average, the peak debt for a person in the United States is between 40 and 49 years old, which currently is Generation X. And as you get older, that debt begins to come down. But debt, if not managed properly, can have serious consequences on the outcome of one's life. There are two main strategies that allow individuals to manage and reduce their debt effectively: the debt snowball and the avalanche method. Let's say that you have $20,000 in debt, broken down like this. If you notice, these debts are organized from smallest to largest. Let's say that you reduce your monthly expenses to the bare minimum, or you take on a side job that makes you an extra $500 a month. We start with the smallest debt. We put these $500 plus the minimum payment that you already pay into your first debt. This pays off your medical bill and your first month. Now you have an extra $550 that you will allocate to your next debt. So you add these $550 to your next smallest debt. Now you are paying $613 per month to eliminate your credit card debt. And in about 4 months, you will be credit card debt free. Now you add these $613 to your $135 car payment, which allocates $748 per month to your car payment, and in 9 months you will no longer have car payments. Now there's only one more debt to tackle: your student loan. In this stage, you add all the money that you freed up by paying all the other debts to put towards your biggest debt. So we allocate $748 plus our $96 student loan minimum payment, which makes your monthly payment $844 per month. This means that you will pay your student loan in just over 10 months. This means that you have just paid over $20,000 in debt in just 24 months, or around 2 years, by reallocating an extra $500 per month. And now you have an extra $844 a month back in your pocket. For the avalanche method, imagine having the same debts, but this time we'll organize them based on the interest rates instead of the amounts. You start by allocating the extra $500 plus the minimum payment to the debt with the highest interest rate. In this case, we start with your credit card payment, since it's by far the highest interest rate debt you have. And in 4.5 months, you will no longer have credit card debt. Then you add the extra $563 that you freed up to your minimum payment on the next highest interest rate, which is your student loans. And in 15 months, you will have your student loans paid off. And if you noticed, since you have been making the minimum payments in your medical bill, you already paid it off. Next, you reallocate the $659 you freed up by paying your student loans, plus the $50 you freed up by paying your medical bill, plus your car's minimum payment, and in 6 months, you will no longer have a car payment. So you just paid off over $20,000 of debt in just 24 months. Each one of these methods are great to pay off debt, but they are designed for different types of people. The avalanche method is the most effective at avoiding paying interest rates on debts. Since it focuses on paying off the highest interest rate debt first, it helps getting rid of the high interest payments, and in the long term, it can make paying debts faster. This method tends to be best for those who already have discipline and are more analytical. The debt snowball is designed to create small victories that can get us motivated to continue our debt journey by checking off the smallest and easiest debt first. This method is great for those who need a simple yet effective way to pay off debt without the need to overcomplicate it. But this is just part of the story. In order to create a strong financial plan and make it easier to get rid of debt, there are a few steps that you might want to consider. Step number 1. Create a mini emergency fund. Before you get started allocating your extra money to pay off your debts, it can be a good idea to save up at least $1,000 to create a safety net to protect you from unexpected expenses. Imagine becoming very disciplined in paying your debts, and all of a sudden your car breaks down, and now you have to spend an extra $700 to get your car fixed so you can get to work. If you don't have a safety net, this can mean that you have to put this $700 expense back into your credit card, setting you back on your plan to pay off your debts. What is worse is that now you have to pay interest on this new $700 debt. By setting up a safety net, paying off debt becomes easier and less stressful. Step 2. Pay off your non-mortgage debts. Now you get to pay off those debts that are draining your pocket every month. Choose the method that best suits you. They are both effective and will get you to your end goal. Step number 3. Complete your emergency fund. Now that you are debt-free, it is time to create financial stability. Now you have an extra $844 per month that you will no longer have to pay in debt. So now it's time to complete your emergency fund. A good idea is to save up 3 to 6 months of living expenses to protect yourself from any emergency that comes up. If you lost your income, you have 3 to 6 months to find another source of income without taking a major financial setback or getting into debt again. If you're an entrepreneur and have fluctuating income, it can be a good idea to have more than 6 months of living expenses saved to account for your fluctuating income. Step number 4. Set aside for retirement. Now that you have a larger leftover income, it's time to build your retirement account. It is recommended to put away 15% of your income into your retirement accounts, starting with your employer matching funds. This is where your employer will match the money that you put into your retirement accounts up to a certain point. This means free money. After getting the maximum amount of free money, you can open up your own retirement account, called IRA or individual retirement account. There are a few individual retirement accounts that you can invest in. The main ones are the traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. A traditional IRA allows you to put money into your retirement account pre-tax, which helps you save in taxes now, but you will have to pay those taxes once you cash out at retirement. A Roth IRA requires you to put money into your retirement account after you paid your taxes, but it would allow you to cash out your investment profits when you retire, all tax-free. Step number 5. Build wealth. The goal here is to consistently allocate your extra money and time to develop higher sources of income and increase your investments. You become financially free when your investment income, aka the income you no longer work for, exceeds your working income. Once this is the case, you will be able to do with your time as you please. Now, if you want to learn how you can get there faster, the book The Millionaire Fastlane shows you a great way to speed up the wealth building process so you can get to your goal of financial freedom much faster. Tap here to watch the video, and I will see you there.